Hey everybody, happy Monday. It is another night of 13 Nights of Tiki Frights, an event sponsored by the Search for Tiki and Art of Scooter, who's an amazing artist. And tonight, we got a couple exciting things going on. First, we have a mug giveaway. We are giving away not one, but 2 mugs to one lucky person. Because it only seemed right that whoever ended up with one of these got the second one as well. They're from Trader Sam's Enchanted Tiki Bar and Trader Sam's Grotto, which are Disney tiki bars, and they are the Hatbox Ghosts from the Haunted Mansion. This one obviously has his face where his face should be, and this one has his face in the Hatbox. So they go really well together. And you can see they are both first edition Hatbox Ghosts. So this is a fantastic giveaway. I think we've had the most number of entries for this giveaway yet, so that's really exciting. Also, we're going to be interviewing Omar from Oakwash, which we are really excited about. I love Oakwash. You guys don't have sound? Someone's saying you don't have sound. Let me know if you don't have sound. Before I bring in Oakwash, I did want to do just a quick shipping update for anyone that has purchased our Naughty Cat Mai Tai glasses. These are officially shipping. We got the bulk of the orders out today, and the rest will go out in the mail tomorrow. So if you order them, they will ship out tomorrow. They come with cocktail umbrellas, and of course, the Naughty Cat recipe card. So that's exciting. We also have the carving contest. If you carve a pumpkin or a pineapple, and you send in the submission, and we like your design the best, you might win this Enchanted Tiki Drummer box, inspired by the Enchanted Tiki Drum from Disney. And without further ado, I think I saw Oakwash in Mai Tai, Matt. So let's see if we can get Oakwash in here.
What's up, dude?
How's it going, my man?
Can you hear me?
There you go. I can hear you.
Good deal.
How's it going? It looks like you're in the house.
I'm in the house, yeah.
Didn't want to risk the Wi-Fi back in the studio?
No, and I just put my kids to sleep, so this just works out better for me.
Should we keep it quiet?
No, it'll be fine.
Or wake up?
Yeah, they're hard sleepers.
How's it going, dude? It's been a while since we talked.
I know, it's been a minute. A lot's changed since we last talked, so.
I'm really excited because the last time we talked, you were thinking about maybe going full-time, but you were scared about it. And I think you told me it was probably going to be like 6 months.
Yeah.
And then like a month later.
Oh, yeah.
You quit your job.
I did. I quit my job, yeah.
It's been about, what, 2 months, 2.5 months?
It's been right around 2 months, yeah. I think right around 2 months.
How does it feel?
Fantastic. It feels
great.
Yeah. I was real scared. That first month was bumpy. I was nervous. It's never a good time to quit your full-time job. It pays pretty good.
Especially when you have a house and 2 kids.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of responsibility as a young parent. So, but I have a lot of confidence in myself, and I was like, man, I can put in the work. I know I can do it. And so far, it's proved pretty well. I'm kind of taking the rest of the year, strictly working on pre-orders and getting out previous promises to clients.
Yep.
Like Layla and stuff. And I think people are asking me like, well, what's coming, what's happening now? And a lot of that's going to be January 1st, 2021. Hopefully a new year, new possibilities. So.
Do you think you're going to have something day one?
I don't want to make promises because this year's nuts. Like
you never know.
Yeah, you never know. I haven't had any material ordering issues yet, and I just did my first material order issue that was coming in from an order from Canada, some glaze. So other than that, things have been pretty smooth.
That's fantastic to hear, man.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you. You had mentioned that one of the things that you were worried about going full time is that your hobby would feel less like a hobby and more like work. Did that happen, or are you still loving it?
We're still in the honeymoon phase. Very romantic. It just hasn't hit me yet. It's weird. You normally when if you get laid off from a job or you have an experience where, and this year was just so brutal. Um, I think my mind was already so messed up from everything going on and just the atmosphere I was in, that when I took the time off to just go home and work on mugs, it almost feels like I haven't really taken on a role in a job yet, because I was technically doing that from 5 p.m. till 9, 10 p.m. most nights, full time on weekends. But now I've kind of transitioned that to a 8 a.m. to a 5 p.m. and I still work some weekends. It's Tiki is full time, but it's fun. There's a lot of trial and error. I mean, we could talk all night about this, but yeah, it hasn't really hit me yet. I think I'm still in the honeymoon. Let's talk in a year and see how I feel then.
I will hold you to that. I will hit you up. So obviously this year is weird, and you chose an interesting time to become a tiki mug maker with everything that's going on. You had the intentions of doing all these events.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure, I don't know if it was Tiki Land, Tiki Oasis, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Didn't happen.
Correct.
Given that, how have you grown your brand? What has been most important to you?
Well, it's been interviews like this, because, reaching out with larger, people in the tiki community, and you're growing at a great rate too. I think more people can see my face, understand what I'm doing. They see my product this way. It's been strictly social media. And I am not a social media guru. I am, I do design work and stuff, but I didn't really understand how much the platform affected your sales. So pretty much, between Instagram and Facebook, the both of those, I've done no advertisements. I've never paid for ads, to promote my work yet. I might in the future, but everything's been real word of mouth. And I think, everyone understands I'm real young at this. I'm 2 years into Tiki. I'm only, I'm young as a Tiki mug designer. But I think the work I'm putting out, and people see the love and the care and just me excited about it. And as someone who buys mugs, when I see another mug maker that's like that, it gets me excited too, because you're like, wow, this guy really cares about what he's doing. Can you believe, or who hopes, that maybe one day he'll be one of the great ones. I mean, you interviewed Tiki Friday. That was nuts. For me to be on the same stage as that dude just doesn't make any sense, to be interviewed in the same category. So, I dream big, and I think I'm going to continue to dream big. And I think that's going to get me far. I've gone pretty far in life, and now I'm making tiki mugs. So, yeah.
I think one of the things that I love about you, and I think other people love about you, and it kind of coincides with social media, is you're authentic. And authenticity on social media is so key, because people who have never talked to you before already kind of have a feeling like they know you and that you're their friend. I mean, I remember interviewing you, was it 3 months ago? And it was so chill. It was so relaxed. And I felt like I already knew a lot about you from your videos. And that's so cool.
Yeah. I think growing up in Louisiana, a little that rubs off on you, and you kind of have that Southern hospitality. But I do love, for the year that we're having, and none of the events I got to attend, I can't imagine the kind of growth I would have had if I would have been able to attend those events and sell my mugs there. Yeah, I like to treat people the way I would love to be treated, and I think that's something I'll probably always carry with me.
It shows, and it's fantastic.
Sick.
Yeah. Hey, so you showed, or I don't know if you showed, but you talked about Layla.
Yeah.
Layla is an exciting project for you.
Yeah.
Layla was your first tiki bar, right?
My first tiki bar experience, like authentic tiki bar experience. And we're talking about this right now, but the owners, I was talking to them again today. We've been trying to get this wrapped up. The kiln's firing right now. I'm on the last of the mugs. They announced the dates, and I can tell them to you because it's live now. So,
really?
Yes, I'll do it live right now. This just happened because they just posted this, less than an hour ago. The Oakwash Layla Tiki mug will go on sale online November 1st, and it will be released Sunday, November 8th at 4 p.m. at Layla in Houston, Texas. All the details are on their page, but the owner did let me know that for the mugs that don't sell out, I believe there will be shipping, but he's anticipating, because of the low amount of numbers, which is 100 of these mugs and just 10 of the what he's calling the, hold on, let me click on this thing here to make sure I say it right. I don't want to say it wrong because that'd be embarrassing for me because I made the mug. But there's only 10 of the Whataburger themed ones. So just browsing, second page. Sorry, I have two computers here. This doesn't work. The What a Layla Mug. I love the name that he picked for that. So there'll be 100 of these and the 10 of the What a Laylos. Pricing for these are $80. And then for the What a Laylo, it'll be 100. And I can't talk about profits, but I initially went out with the intention of helping give a lot of the profits back to Layla because of what's going on with, you know.
So at first it's going to be in person only,
Yes.
and then remaining stock will be available for shipping.
As far as I know, that is the word that I'm hearing today. I don't want to like lie to people and get their hopes up. But from what he's saying, he feels like he'll be able to ship mugs after the release of that night, that Sunday, November 8th.
But one never knows.
Yeah.
You had people waiting 2 hours for your last one, right?
No.
In-person mug release. So
Yeah.
that's so cool.
It's very exciting.
How did that? So Layla was your first tiki bar experience. Now you're making them a mug. How did that happen?
I was high on adrenaline. I just got done doing a local bar here called Soji. I brought tiki to Baton Rouge, which we have none of it here. I just released a mug there. I told a buddy of mine, a good friend of mine, I said, let's go to Houston next weekend. Let's go see if we can talk to the owners. I'm going to throw out $20 bills to all the bartenders and show my ASS in this place. And I'm gonna try to persuade my way in. And I ended up bringing a gift to the owner, which was one of the Whatabobs, the one of 3 that ever existed.
Yep.
And I gave that to him. I think it went to his wife. The bar staff there was, unreal as always. And I got to talking to them on Instagram and eventually got the owner's number. And within a matter of weeks, was in design phase for the mug. They loved the concept I had drawn up for them. And then COVID hit. And it was going to be shelved, to be honest. It was not going to happen. At that time, I was still working. And I said, I'm making this mug. I'm not going to make this mug. I let him, I told him how big of a deal this is for me. And I told him I would do it completely on my dime with no financing up front. I probably shouldn't be saying all this online, but I did it out of pocket because I know that my work is worth it. I know people will buy it. And I took the risk. And I have risked the last 6 months putting it out there.
Yeah.
Because I know that I'm going to be able to sell the mug. And I know people are going to love it. And I knew that in my mind and in my heart, I'm like, if I put this out there, I can give profits to them. I can take profit, pay back what I owe, and move forward. And I think it's going to be great for everybody. So that's the full story. If you wanted to know all the details, I just let it all out. I'm like,
there you go. There's so much. I think there's this impression now because there are so many people making tiki mugs that you can just design a tiki mug and then you're going to make tons of money. And it's really not the case because regardless of whether you're making it yourself or you're paying someone else to produce it, it is thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars to get a mug made.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, easily. And you look at the big guys like Montiki and stuff, and I mean, the stuff they do, I know a lot of that on the import side is coming from overseas, but that's a lot of work. It's a lot. I can't imagine. It's unbelievable the kind of stuff they do. Or even Van Tiki, like what he can do, just him and his wife, it's amazing. The level of detail in his work is just nuts. It's crazy. So
how do you, now having finished, Layla was your first big run, right?
Yeah.
How do you,
big for me, yeah.
How do you feel about edition size now? What in your mind is the ideal edition size for you?
For me, alone with no help, 100 to 150 mugs. 200 if the mug isn't. The problem I have, and I'm just going to be dead honest with you about this, is I do things the hard way, and I think a lot of that has to do with because I'm so young in this. I like to have a lot of high detail in my work. I like to have all these deep grooves, all this high detail, and a lot of that gets lost in a mold. When you get a lot of mugs, a lot of it's smooth, a lot of it the seam lines are smooth. Well, I go in deep. I cut in deep. I do stuff that probably shouldn't work in ceramics, but it does somehow. Some of that's inexperience. Some of that is because I want to just have that extreme look, but that requires hours of cleanup and detail work. So that's why I feel, on something high detail like that or like this, it's going to always stay super limited because of the amount of undercuts and the amount of
Yep.
work that goes into it. Now, on something like this, that's a lot more simple
Mm-hmm.
and has minimal seam cleanup and all the detail comes out in the mold, I could do runs of 200, 300 mugs, which is why this one is still for sale on my website. So,
Your Kraken one, is it called Release the Kraken, I think?
release the Kraken, yeah.
Yeah. How many pieces is that mold?
It's like 7 or 8. It's like 7 or 8. It's ridiculous. I did that. Okay, so I think it was 2 years ago. I did that in one night. Like I was drinking and I was like, I'm gonna make this. And then I was like, I was so new at mug making. I'm like, I can't make a mold out of this. So it just sat in my cabinet and I would sit some nights with a Sharpie and try to draw seam lines to see where I could break this thing apart. And then I was so nervous because I didn't want to lose the piece. And finally one night I went out there and I started. I worked all through the night, all through the next day. It took me probably 14 to 16 hours and I completed the mold and then I went to bed. And I didn't know if it was going to work, but it did work. And I think there's probably 30 of these that have ever come out of my shop. As of
Yep.
now, there might be more in the future. Everyone keeps begging me. I'm going to try, everybody.
Do you have a master mold of that or just one plaster mold?
I have one plaster mold.
So
When
that's gone, it's gone.
it's gone, it's gone. You may see something different of that style come out next year. I can't talk about it yet. There's so many things that I'm super stoked about. I can't talk about yet. So
We're excited.
I know everyone's
We're excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that the Tentacle in particular, everyone seems to have the desire to do a tentacle mug and the frustration of doing a tentacle mug because they're all impossible.
Yes. Ask me 4 years ago, like that, or tell me that I'm going to make something with a tentacle on it. And I'd be like, why? Why would I do that? It's like I had no desire of octopus or anything. Like I had nothing there. And, I was just like, yeah, that would be sick. And I was like, I'm going to do it. And now I love that type of stuff. Like I'm going to get a tattoo eventually with an octopus on it. Like what has happened to me? Where am I going? I don't know. Anyways, sorry, going off track here.
No, I think it's so cool, and I think it's so like the one thing that like across the board, every single artist seems to want to do and also hates doing is a tentacle mug, but it never goes out of fashion.
Does not. It'll sell like hotcakes. Yeah.
How many? So you only have the plaster mold of that one. How many mugs do you typically get out of a mold? Because everyone seems to have a different number.
Yeah, and Van Tiki was talking about, and I've talked to so many different artists about different types of slip we use, high fire, fire, your deflocculant levels, everything kind of changes with certain makers. It depends on the mold, and it also depends on how good you are at making molds. I think Van Tiki's probably mastered it. He's been doing it for so long. I typically see from one mold anywhere between 20 to 25 pulls. After 25 pulls, you can go probably for another 5 or 10, but you're going to really feel that you're pushing that mold. You can clean it up. You get some really cool things happen, though. Like, okay, for instance, this mold is starting to fall apart.
Yep.
What happened is you get all this crazy looking fails that happen.
Okay.
Stuff just failed. But it actually looks like it was meant to be here, like it's a part of the underside of a broken piece of bamboo. It can work in some aspects, but in most mug makers that need complete consistency, that need everything to look 100% perfect, and that's the way they design things, yeah, you're gonna have to swap your molds out after 20-25 pours.
Then you're kind of tapped out. One thing that happened to you recently, and you've talked about What a Bob a little bit, but you kind of had a setback. Oh, look, you look sad.
Yeah.
I want to bring it up because, like, for all the mug makers out there that have similar setbacks, like, how do you get over it? How do you move forward?
Well, I've never had something fail yet, and that was it for me. like every kiln I've unloaded, every time I've dropped stuff off, I might have had one mug, something happened, and I actually knew what I did, you know.
Yep.
But what sucked about this was every mug broke, and I had no idea what I did wrong. And they were actually still breaking as the kiln was cooling, so I could hear them breaking. So
Oh,
art was actually, if you would have been there, you would have seen it like in a comic. I was a 300-pound man, broken, falling to the floor, crying. Like I was, and I'm not gonna make this up, dude. I cried because I was so hurt because of the amount of work those mugs took. So I waited for them to cool down. I looked at the mugs. I brought them inside, and I asked my beautiful wife to throw them away for me because I couldn't do it. And I contacted the makers of the slip, talked to them. I contacted where I buy my glaze from, and then I talked to another artist. And the color I was using, the white color I was using,
okay.
certain, and this I'm just telling you the whole story, has a certain of not chemical. What's inside there? It has something in it that makes it shrink faster than the clay. And when that was happening, it was cooling off faster, and because of the speed difference, they just all huge cracks down the side and shattered. Now, the one that didn't break, the one that survived, I don't know why that one survived. I've been watching it. I watched it for a week. Nothing's happened. I put it on eBay and I sold that one, and I'm
Yep.
moving forward. So is there a lesson from this? Uh, I don't know. Maybe make more glazed textiles. That's something I'm working on now, but I don't know if that would have even caught it because I glazed the inside with clear, and on the
Yep.
outside, I left it completely raw. And because of that, with there being a color in here with that clear white, and the outside was a satin finish, it was two different types of glazes that just didn't play well together. I don't think I would have ever figured that out if I wouldn't have had
Glaze.
that rate. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. Luckily, it wasn't anything that cost me any serious financial trouble. I'm still kind of in a buffer zone until the end of the year. So
Yeah. But it is a setback, and it just goes to show, for every mug that someone sells, there
Mhm.
are so many mugs that don't make it.
Yeah,
Like Odd Rodney was saying, they ended up, in his backyard with succulents in them or whatever it is. But
yeah,
there's so much work that goes into mugs that's not seen, that never makes it to eBay, that never makes it to an online store. And that's
correct.
kind of a part of those mugs.
Yeah. Well,
And
whether I
so,
continue doing this and making mugs or whether I stop, which who knows the future for me, I can say this as someone who collects mugs first and started making mugs second. My amount of respect for every artist and every ceramics pottery person, it's just grown so big because I now see how much work it takes to just get a mug made. It's unreal. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything, but there's a lot that goes into it. I know everybody says that, but until you're making it, you really see. I mean, it almost hurts to ship them. I don't even want to. I don't want to let them go. They're like babies. It's like I put all this work into it, and you're getting the financial means for it, but you're torn. You're like, man, these are so beautiful, and it's hard to get that batch that works. The ones you're able to ship. So, anyways,
do
talk
you
on.
have, is there any one particular thing that you have seller's remorse over?
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
the first Leaky Tiki I made, I didn't save myself one, and I
Oh,
sold all 14 of them because I was new, and I was like, oh yeah, no one's gonna buy these, and they were gone within minutes because I didn't understand this tiki community thing or that any of this existed, and I didn't save anything for like the first 6 months, so I didn't have any of the originals. So I bought one back off eBay. I'm not gonna lie to you, I spent a lot of money and bought one back, but I got one now. It's weird, a buddy of mine, Doug Boley, he's like, it's crazy. You make this art and it sells for X amount of dollars, and you're like, you can't even afford to buy it back. Like it's crazy. It's nuts. As an artist, it's just weird. It's weird. It's really weird.
you're not the first person this week, though, to say that they've bought back their art.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
I'm
what.
sure other guys have done it. I mean, it's crazy, but it happened. I'm not letting it happen again. I always keep like 2 extras now. So
You mentioned Doug. how were you first introduced to Doug?
Instagram, and dude, I don't even know. I think he found me. I used hashtags a lot in the beginning, to grow my. I was trying to do the hashtag thing, and
Okay, yeah.
I think who was sharing me a lot, and Shannon Tiki Bar was sharing my Leaky Tiki's building process, and I think he found me through there, and he was telling me his story about Leaky Tiki. He had done him in artwork before. I come to find out he worked for the Walt Disney Company. I was like, dude, I've worked for the Walt Disney Company on a contract. And then we start talking about all this fabrication stuff. I was actually going to Disney World, and I was showing him videos of stuff I'd worked on. He was showing me pictures of stuff he had worked on. And it was just funny because we both were working almost in the same atmosphere, but we never kind of, crossed paths. And then he's like, well, how have you gotten into tiki mugs? And I kind of told him, I was like, I don't have an arts degree. I don't do that. I just make the mugs. And so then I shipped him one, and then, it just grew from there. And now I'm going to say we're best friends. I love the dude to death. He's a great mentor to me. He's a wonderful man. He makes beautiful art. And yeah, I don't think I'd be here, to be honest, because when you have an artist like at a real level, like a real high level, just tell you, that if you push yourself, you'll get there, man, it does a lot to you, So I actually put in more work. I worked harder because of Doug. And I think, me talking to you tonight wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Doug. And I know it seems weird, but I probably wouldn't have pushed myself. I would have never quit my job, so.
It is crazy, some of the connections that you make. I can't believe, because I'm in New Hampshire, I've never been to a tiki event, and I'm doing all these tiki interviews with people, and when I asked them, I'm like, will you do these interviews with me? They all said yes, and I'm like, really? Really? You all said yes? And Tiki Tum, I don't know if you know Tiki Tum.
Mm-hmm.
I had a similar experience with him. I woke up one day, and he had created like fan art of the search for Tiki.
How's that?
And my mind was just like blown. Like, are you kidding me? Like a co-director of a Disney movie just did fan art of the search for Tiki.
Yeah.
That is such like an ego boost, and will like keep you going so far.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I have to know, and you might decline to answer this. You maybe have not even thought about it, but you've been posting a lot of Doug's turtles. There is a distinct lack of turtle mugs out there. Is there a potential for a turtle mug?
There's always potential for a turtle mug.
There's always potential.
You said it, now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, it can happen. It just has to be done right. Someone's going to do it. You take a turtle shell, close the bottom, like a smaller turtle shell on its side. On the bottom of the turtle shell, you do like lost lay or, pele.
Yeah.
For the shell, you do beautiful blues and greens. Oakwash just patented it. So sorry, guys, I took it.
Do it. I am so amazed that there hasn't been more turtle mugs.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I see Doug's art, and I'm like, please.
Yeah.
Make a turtle mug.
I might do it now. Look, you convinced me. I might just, keep drinking the night and go work on one. Who knows?
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Speaking
of which, that mug right there, you got that available on your store right now, right?
I do. So this is the first mug that I've been able to sell on my website. Also with the glossy finish. I never do gloss. I always do like this matte finish, this rough.
Yep.
So I took a risk. I went gloss on this. It's got this beautiful teal blue on the inside. And this is a collab with Doug. And he does this. This is his logo on all of his prints. It's beautiful. But yeah, this didn't sell out. This is still, on my website. It's a limited edition of 150. I think they're about halfway sold out. So you can still get one if you want one. The molds are being poured right now, and they will all ship by January 2021. That one will stay on par to ship for January 2021, unlike a lot of my previous stuff because of COVID. This is actually a completely planned project. So
yep,
it's been tough.
So I know right now your focus is getting all your pre-orders out in 2020. Mm-hmm. Are you open once that's done to commission work, or are you focusing on your own stuff exclusively?
I've taken so many. I feel so bad. I'll probably in my inbox have 100 different messages from people wanting certain things from me. And there's a lot of good guys like in the community that I'm dying to work with. And there's certain things I want to do. And at this point, I feel like next year there's a certain amount of things I want to accomplish, and I'll kind of go over them with you. I want to re-release Leaky Tiki #1, which
Mm-hmm.
is important because there's only a handful of these out there. People see them, they freak out. It's at Trader Sam's in California on the shelf next to the Tiki Tony print, and everyone wants one. Like they're like, I gotta have this mug, so I'm gonna release more of this. I'm also gonna release Leaky Tiki #2 again and get that out. You know, this is like a big deal to me to to grow the Leaky Tiki mug experience from
Yep.
Oakwash. It's a big part of my history. I think I'll look back and be like, thank God I released 150. Those people can leave me alone because I love my fan base. I love my fans. You know, but like you just said, there's so many collaborations and ideas and things that I want to do and things that want to happen that I have to finish, and I have to let things go for me to go forward and for me to improve as an artist. You know, I want to make better work, and I'm not saying this work that I have is bad, but I'm getting better every day, and I think I can create better things. You know, people think that one mug is the best of me, but I don't think I've made my best mug yet. And I think what I'll do next year is raise the bar, you know, and raise, because the competition is it's immense right now. I mean, look at that mug Tiki Diablo is releasing today. With I can't remember the bar name. It looks gorgeous. I mean,
Smuggler's Cove.
yeah, like
Yeah.
his work is so consistent, and I'm like, God, I see the mug and I get depressed and excited at the same time as another artist. I'll be honest, like I'm like, because I'm like I want to be there. I want to be with the guys. I want to be up there, and they're just, when you see their work, you know it's their work. So collaborations for next year, the question you were asking, I've got a couple going on that I can't talk about. Uh, and maybe I will be open to collaborations. If you want to collaborate with me, please message me and I'll let you know. But I am being a little more picky right now because, you know, 2021 is going to probably fly. I hope it does, because 2020
I
is
think it will.
life. Um, so, yeah.
You mentioned, so Leaky Tiki's being such a big part of you. What does Disney, what influence does Disney have on you and your art?
Jesus. It's huge, man. I mean, I remember as a kid, I have pictures. Of course, I don't have them right now. Maybe next time we'll interview, I'll show you. My grandparents, from the age of 2, would bring me to Disney World. I think some people have these stories of their family bringing them at a very young age. And there's pictures of me standing next to the Leaky Tikis with my grandfather, who's in the last years of his life now. And it's crazy to think that, you know, I look at that picture and I see me with him, and I'm like, holy crap. You know, like, I'm making mugs based off of things, you know, that I saw when I was a kid. I think Disney's escapism level is that no one touches Disney's escapism level. I mean, it's ridiculous. It doesn't matter if it's 1,000 degrees at that place or it's cold and it's wet. It doesn't matter if it's packed to the T or it's completely empty. It's magical all the time, 24/7, 7 days a week. This year's been the worst year that I've lived through in my human existence. And I was there, you know, 2-3 months back when no one was there. Saved my life. You know, like, Disney is a big part of me, and I think a lot of people in the Tiki community. I think there's just a huge mesh there, you know?
For sure. It seems like all the big artists at some point in their life have been touched by the adventureland of Disney. And it's really cool to see that reflected in your art on a personal level.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of, when you have that Leaky Tiki, you know, sitting at Trader Sam's, and you think about, hey, this started with a kid going to Disney with his grandparents, that mug means so much more. I think collecting Tiki mugs for a lot of people aren't just about the art, it's about the stories behind them.
100%.
And so that's really cool to hear.
Definitely. Thank you, man.
Another mug that you recently released, probably one of my favorites. It's one of your more simple designs, but Friends from the Other Side.
Yeah.
Now that's obviously kind of Disney inspired, and more importantly, it's New Orleans.
Yeah.
Which, man, that's your home turf.
It is. And
so that's so fun.
About wanting to make Louisiana Tiki mugs, but I think there's this whole, it's like a mountain to climb. So, and then Montiki, so like I was gonna do a pelican mug, and then Montiki did one, and I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I don't care if mine's completely different. It's been done. It's over. I don't want to do an alligator. I don't want to do many things. Voodoo in itself in New Orleans and the history of New Orleans has amazing stories. It's the cocktail kingdom of the world. I mean, it's where Beach Bum Berry lives. It's where everyone comes together every year to celebrate cocktails. And, you know, there's a lot of tiki there, and there's a lot of just history there. And, yeah, maybe there'll be more Oakwash, Louisiana voodoo mugs in the future.
That would be really cool. I am still salivating. The last time we talked, you mentioned that the best, I think, fried chicken was in New Orleans.
Yes, it is.
And I have not stopped thinking about that. Of course, I haven't been able to go.
Yeah, when you get here, you're going to hit me up. We're going to go together, and you're not going to be able to walk by probably 3, but I'll get you drinking pretty good to where we can go to a couple more spots. You're gonna be so full you're gonna want to throw up. It's great. We have really good food down here.
I cannot wait. I simply cannot wait.
It's gonna be a blast.
Of course, you had to mention it to me before everything shut down. I was like, I'm never gonna get the best fried chicken in the world.
Yeah, no, it's good. Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. I live here. I still haven't had it because I just trying to be safe. So I'm supporting small business though. I'm supporting small business, just not fried chicken all the time. I can't do it all the time.
So you mentioned the Tiki Diablo mug, which is coming out. I forget exactly when, but that's sick.
I saw it today, and I was like thinking about it because I hadn't seen a new mug in a minute. That I was like, damn, that's good. You know, like I was looking as another artist, I was looking at it and I was like, God, like what? Why can't I do that? And it's just, I'm excited. I'm just like, man, I'm gonna get this mug. You know, I got to get this mug. It's good.
You do incredible work. You're selling yourself short. I bet you Diablo, if he were here, there is another mug that someone else made that he would say the same thing about.
100%. Yeah, definitely. He would definitely say that. But
is there a particular artist or something in Tiki that is exciting you the most right now?
There's something that is exciting me the most. There's something that's like kind of depressing as well, but exciting. I'm going to go over the depressing one first. We'll end on a happy note. Wendy Savola will go down in history as one of the best mug makers of all time. I'm calling it now because I just think her work is beautiful. What's depressing to me is she is in the last years of making mugs. She's almost done. And it's sad, but it's exciting because you're seeing this woman at her peak. I mean, she's at her peak. And her work is just, I finally was able to start getting her mugs. They're hard to find.
Yes, they are.
So, yeah, you were asking that. You were saying exciting new artists or new things coming. I think it's been amazing as someone who's new and seeing my own journey and experiencing it myself and seeing Lost Idol's journey as well, Lost Coast journey. And we talk a good bit, and it's crazy to see his style and what he's doing versus my style and what I'm doing. I'm actually learning, he's probably saving me time by me experiencing his day-to-day struggles, the things he's accomplishing, his structure, how he's handling his business. It's really cool to see because we're both young, and Brad at Haven Cove Customs is the same way. He's also new at this too, and we talk daily. You know, so it's really cool seeing like these other young guys like me and seeing how our work can be completely different, our experience is completely different, but the same group of people want our stuff. So very interesting, you know. So there's a good happy note. Sorry about the Wendy Savola thing. I just have to bring it up.
Well, Wendy is an incredible artist.
Good gosh.
And
I hope I get to meet her. I'd like to meet her. This year's not going to happen, but
someday.
If you could ask me one artist I want to meet, it's Wendy. I want to have a chat with Wendy pretty bad.
Do you have a Grail mug?
Well, most of the mugs that I would consider grails, I've gotten my Club 33 mug. I've gotten a Tiki Tony mug I wanted. You know, like I've got a couple Diablo works. I've got some Haven Cove, some friends, some Coxswain Dunsel out of Texas. I got something from him. A grail for me at this point would probably be, I don't even know, man. I don't want to lie to you. Probably Oh, I don't know. I'm not gonna make it up. I'm not gonna invent something because I have no idea. I don't have any other grails at this moment. So
That's a good place to be,
something
man.
old from Montiki, something like legit from him before everything happened, like anything from like pre 2016
Yeah.
Montiki from him. I don't have like a specific mug, but something from him that's like legit. Not saying that his imports are not legit, but like something from him that when you see it on eBay, it's like $1,000. You're like, holy crap, and it looks epic.
Which honestly, probably most people on here don't know many of those because they really don't show up on eBay that often.
They
Because the
don't.
people that have them don't
There's
give them up.
look right now. There's like one, and you're like, I don't have $3,000.
Or if I do, I probably shouldn't be spending it on a ceramic mug.
No, I'm gonna go buy a new Laguna spray booth so I can spray like all the pros do. That's what I would do with $3,000.
What do you think as a new mug maker? What is the cost up front?
It can be as little. It can be as little as $200 to $300 if you want to just like bare bones make a mold, make a mug, 25 mugs. Go to your local pottery place, have them fire it for you. If you get into it like I did, you can spend upwards of. Now this is upfront cost. I'm not gonna. I have a building on my property. I didn't need a
Yep.
space. I have my own space. In equipment, materials, so far it's probably been $15,000 to $20,000. Um, it's not cheap. Now you might see that number and say, well, how's he going to even make any money? Well, I bought big equipment. These are things that I'll pay for over years. It's
Yeah.
not. And to be honest, I had a full-time job while I bought this stuff, so a lot of it I paid cash. So, but yeah, if you want to start small, when I started, I had no anticipations of doing this. I went and spent $300-400, begged my wife. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna bring this clay and mud stuff into our kitchen. Sun in here. I know it's kind of dangerous, but I'm gonna keep it separated. Yeah, I did it all from scratch. In fact, my first mold box, I used what did I do? I used cardboard. I took what I had and I made it happen. Yeah, so you could start pretty cheap.
Thank God for that.
Hmm.
And your studio, which you kind of lucked out because you already had a space out back that was just kind of not being used, right?
That's right.
It's about 200 square feet?
Yeah, it's like 200 square foot little building.
Yeah. How do you think, is that a great size for a studio? Do you feel limited by it?
I feel limited because I need to be a little more efficient. I mean, you can utilize small space like that people live out of rooms 200 square foot, like their whole house. Like some people live like that. So you could definitely produce a lot of work out of a studio of that size. For instance, this month alone, I've produced over 150 mugs in 30 days in that studio, and I took 2 mini vacations. So yeah, you can make things happen, you know? So space is the only thing that limits you is this. And I know
How's
it's
the
a guy thing, but really it is this is that the only thing that limits you is yourself.
how is the so now you're doing it full time, but you still have 2 kids. How's the work-life balance as a mug maker?
Terrible. It's a struggle. We have so much going on with COVID this year. I have a terrible twos child. I have my beautiful, intelligent third grader daughter. And I stepped up a lot when I convinced my wife to let me quit my job. I'm not going to fluff it up for you. I was going to make sure I was going to be able to do more with my kids, and I love it. I mean, it's fantastic because I get to see the amount of stuff that my wife was doing for me while I was conquering this job that was completely taking over my life. But I do find the time to get a lot done. But I do enjoy spending time as a father right now, and I'm going to enjoy it for a long time. I'm not going to let it change me as a mug maker. I'm going to limit myself to what I can do, but I am going to push myself in the hours that I get them. But yeah, I'm going to enjoy it because it doesn't last long. I know because my first one's already growing up, and my son is just like every day I blink, and then he's producing sentences for some reason, and I don't want him to do that. I'm ready for him. and it's not happening. So
Just keep it mute for as long as you can. So the Barefoot Broker, I don't know if you know him. He's one of our supporters on Patreon, and he is a huge fan of your work. All the time he's messaging me like, "Did you see the latest Oakwash mug?" I was like, "Yes, it looks sick." But he wanted me to ask, if you look back over the past 6 months, is there anything that you would do differently, knowing now what you know?
I would have probably have addressed my fan base differently. I think, when I released the tribal tumbler, I'm going to just be brutally honest with this. I didn't realize the task that was in front of me. I had never tackled something so large, and I was very comfortable with saying 6 months I should be able to handle it. I didn't know that I was going to quit my job. I didn't know that all these things would come up. You can't plan life, and I think I would release a better realistic goal. But with me now, with what I'm doing, I'm trying to show weekly updates to show people what's going on, and I'm releasing in small batches. There's problems with USPS. I didn't know that was going to be affected because of the president and what he said. That's a whole different story. We don't talk politics and tiki. But what I'm saying is there's been a lot of issues that have come up, and a lot of things have happened, even on getting some supplies. So it's been tough. I didn't know what was coming, and I think I would have probably slowed down because I get excited easily, and I like to, say, "Oh, I can do this. I know I can do this." I have to sit down and be a businessman now and set realistic goals.
How do we, this is kind of a more broad question, but how do we as artists or just fans in the tiki community set expectations with people on limited releases?
I think there's been some mugs I've waited 1.5 years for. I forgot about them. I think when you look at when you're buying something that's art that has to be produced in-house from someone, and this is speaking as a fan, and I understand this, you have to understand there's going to be delays that person can't handle. They want to get the work to you. Trust me, I want it to be done. I want to get the work done. I think the best thing you can do as a fan to an artist is appreciate the communication. If you see an artist that is constantly updating his social media and reaching back out to you or getting back your messages, just know that they really do care and they want to get you your work. So,
and we, in particular with you, I love your bi-weekly updates. I think it's a fantastic thing. It kind of sucks. You pre-order a mug and then you don't hear anything about it for 3 months, and then they tell you it's delayed, and it's like, I mean, obviously things have happened over the past 3 months.
Oh, and I want to stay completely honest. Like, if I lose a kilload of mugs, I'm going to let people know what happened, but that shouldn't happen because the mugs and the glaze that I've used for so long now, it's pretty consistent. But yeah, having that bi-weekly update is very, very important, and I will probably use that forever, no matter how big I get. I think I'll always have the time to sit down, take 10 minutes, and address my audience.
And I think it goes back to the authenticity that you give off and that people love, is because they know when they buy an Oakwash mug what to expect, and they know it's going to arrive, and even if it's delayed, that you're going to update them.
Yeah.
And it's so cool. As a new, kind of changing gears, as a new artist, so one of the reasons we made the Search for Tiki is to help new artists get exposure and get the support they need to create their art, their passion. Is there anything that you think we can be doing better in terms of supporting new artists?
Let me just say, the website is so good that y'all produce. The way I get friend requests through email and I can respond, like, even if I can't get on the Search for Tiki right away, I see these friend requests. I know that it's happening. I can quickly click a link, go to the website. I can get news from y'all. Your articles are great. And it's great because I think there's so many different artists. You have your Instagram feed, you have your Facebook feed, and all these things are happening. And you can go to your website, the Search for Tiki, and you can almost see everything as it's happening from all these different artists. And you can kind of just catch up in one spot. It's very difficult to do that. I don't know how you're doing it. You're doing great, man. You're killing it.
A lot of time. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. It's a lot of time.
I would believe it's got to be a lot, man. But it's beautiful. The website's beautiful.
Thank you. We're always trying to find new ways of getting more people involved in Tiki and showing them all the work and the effort and the passion that artists like you put into it. So if you do ever come up with any ideas, and anyone watching this video, let us know. Gabe, send him his $20. But thank you so much, Oakwash. We're unfortunately running out of time. It's 9:52. So
good.
I'm gonna pick some winners. While I focus on picking some winners, if people want to let us know some questions for Oakwash in the comments, real quick, we do have some time to ask him those things.
I just finished my thing. Pretty good.
You finished?
Yeah, it's great.
You're ahead of me. So these are the mugs we're giving away. The Hatbox Ghosts from Trader Sam's, Enchanted Tiki Bar. Did I get that right? Enchanted Tiki Bar and Grog Grotto. We had exactly 1,000 entries.
Dadgum. I mean, it is a hot mug. Hot mugs.
And the winner number is 530. Are you going to make the Great Stone Dragon mug?
Ooh. That's a good question. Man, you must have been following me for a minute. I posted that like a long time ago. You know, I was gonna try to have it come out with the new Mulan movie, and it was gonna happen, and then the film was completely different, and then I was like, I kind of lost motivation. I actually started molding that mug, and I didn't finish, and I threw it away, and maybe it'll happen one day. Great question. Oh, let's see what else we got here. We got how long does it take to make a medium elaborate mug? Medium elaborate, let's just say something like this. This is probably medium elaborate. This took me one night. I sat and carved it. It took me 4 hours. It took another 8 hours to make a mold. It took an hour to pour one mug. It takes another 12 hours to fire the mug. It takes another 12 hours after that fire to glaze and fire the mug. And then you have to let it cool down. And that's roughly how long it takes. Is that a good answer? Probably not. Hey, this guy wants to talk.
Yeah, oh, you're giving it back to me? You have enough? Taboo Relics. Cheers to speed carving. That dude is nuts. The speed at which he does a sculpt. We'll be talking to him in 2 days, I think. So Wednesday. And we'll have some exciting stuff to share with Taboo Relics. The winner of both Hatbox Ghosts, because this winner's getting both of them, is Larissa Stillwell.
You did it, Larissa. You saved 20. Congratulations. It's
so
over.
Congratulations.
It's done. It's over. We finished.
It's over. We got another mug we're giving away shortly after this. This mug is nuts. You know Shima Ceramics? You must know Shima Ceramics. Yeah.
Dude, he's killer.
I saw this mug and I was like, this is unlike any mug I have seen elsewhere. If you're a fan of Stranger Things,
what?
You might know. This is the Tiki Gorgon.
God, it's so big. It's like an Oakwash mug.
Huge. Dude, I think this is bigger than your mugs.
That's a big mug.
Look at that thing.
Dude, his sculpture work is unreal. Wow.
Shima, it's out of, this is number 62 out of 100. Tiki Gorgon, and it's got these like, would you call those Maori?
Yep.
I don't know, but
Maori.
Yeah, so that's going to be our next giveaway.
It looks good.
Tomorrow we're interviewing Jeff Granito, so that'll be fun.
Woo.
It's been so good catching up with you, man.
Dude, come on. It's going to be weird when we finally meet, though, right? Like, it's going to be really weird.
It's not going to be weird because it's going to be fried chicken.
Are you going to be able to accept a hug from me? I'm a hugger.
Yeah, I'll hug.
Okay. I mean, this will be like a while from now. You know, like I'm not going to give you COVID, but I'm a hugger. So.
8 months from now, we'll be eating fried chicken and giving hugs, and I can't wait, dude.
Yes, dude. It's gonna be
Fantastic.
Show you all the cool spots.
Well, thank you so much, Oakwash. Thank you for joining us.
Dude.
Always a pleasure to talk to you.
Great talking to you. We're gonna do this again probably a year from now or something. I can't wait.
Thank you. Everybody have a good night.